You know, I was meant to upload this video yesterday, but I've only started editing it now because a certain thing happened.
This game isn't real.
So now we're back. And I said I'd be doing a video reviewing RPG Maker with and a separate video doing RPG Maker MV projects. But yeah, as it turns out, a lot of the stuff on RPG Maker with is just like game showcases and like concepts. There's very few full-length games that I would want to be reviewing. So should have probably expected that because it's a fairly recent engine release and all the big projects are probably still being worked on. So yeah, we're just going to review games from both. I believe I have 5 RPG Maker MV games and 5 RPG Maker with games. So let's go and look at them. But before that, I've made a slight change to how I'm going to rank these, because obviously the in-depth reviews are where I rank the games more in-depth on the scales. So I have decided that in the quick reviews, I'm only going to rank them in 3 different ways. I'll either continue to play them, I might continue to play them, depends on the public opinion, or I just won't continue playing them. Yeah, so I'll give closer considerations to anything I put in the maybe category, but any game that I potentially complain about is still a game that someone took the time to make and upload. Any opinion I state is entirely my own, and if a game that I don't like looks interesting to you, don't let my opinion shape you, go play it yourself. It also might be worthwhile to hang around till the back end. I've got stuff to discuss at the tail end of the video, and I don't want to feel like I'm talking to the wind, but I also don't want to put it immediately at the beginning and drive people off from the actual video, so let's start this off with
Strap in, folks, here we go again.
Radley, you've done it again. Creature Hunter G Plus was already a game that I hold in a very special place in my heart, but X Plus takes everything about G Plus and makes it better in every degree of the word. Visible monsters in the overworld, boom. Locations, boom, they're better than ever. Tiamat Minerva, boom, they're back. And Tiamat even speaks now. The game even pokes fun at Tiamat's guard at graduation to voice protagonist. Despite knowing how Creature Hunter works, and despite everything backing up that I should have bullets through the opening of this game, I barely made any progress. Partially because I died and forgot to save, but also because I spent the first 25 minutes of my hour-long gameplay wandering around looking at everything. Because, Radley, my dude, you have a knack for making locations in this engine. Like, I do not know how you do it, but the stuff that you make looks incredible. The gameplay loop is the same as the previous game, but everything I'd complained about in that game was made better here. It is great, and I'm eager to add this game to my review list. This game will be continued. Mark my damn words. I'm gonna hold the opinion that the best games in RPG Maker with are not RPGs at all. Like, look at this introduction sequence while I speak on this game. Like, this is a professional quality introduction and opening credits. Like, what? If this becomes the standard for projects like this, I wouldn't be disappointed. It is that damn good. A Murder in Buckfield stars a detective, you name, investigating a sleepy town rocked by a murder of a college graduate. And it's up to you to determine the truth from the rumors, find the evidence around the town, and condemn the murderer. So it is really damn hard to review this game by proxy, because it's not a traditional RPG. But honestly, this game is just so really well made, it doesn't feel like it's made in an RPG engine. It just feels like what you'd get if you made a criminal investigation game discussing the murder of an 18-year-old girl, including discussions of drug abuse and unsafe home life and religious desecration, in a game engine made for JRPGs. And the best part, this isn't the only game on this list that isn't an RPG. So, like, honestly, I can't really say much more about this because I don't want to spoil. I don't really want to show too much of this game at once because I really want to continue reviewing this game, but I don't actually know how. I'll have to take a pretty big and like a hard thought about how exactly I want to review this game because a murder in Buckfield is, yeah, as I've said before, not an RPG. So anything I really do with it is gonna be hard. I will definitely continue this game. Just I don't know how I'm gonna review it exactly. Huh, this seems like a pretty cool game with a decent plotline. I wonder who made it. Radley! Seriously, dude, this isn't even the last time your games are on this list. How many games have you made for this platform, my guy? Because we're very close to being able to make an entire video on your game catalog alone. All things considered, this game's got a very basic setup. Go get ingredients from all types of beer at a tavern. Simple. All the consumables are different types of alcohol. The ensemble is just drunk tavern patrons. It is kept incredibly simple. Yet it just kind of felt alright to me. I don't know if this is one of the earlier games in the timeline of Radley_7, but like, it felt very basic. There's none of the flair that other games Radley have made. And oh, we will get back to that later. And despite all of that, this game still feels better than like 90% of the games in the RPG Maker forums. You see, that was a jab at the forums. I know people from the forums sometimes see these videos. This is not throwing gas at anyone, I promise. All in all, this game is a resounding maybe. I don't know if this is something that I want to continue, but it is a Radley game, so even if the start isn't as strong as some of the other games, it's a Radley game. It's probably going to get good somewhere along the line. Maybe I'll probably just get more input from you guys and see how you want to go from there. Really, that's all I can say.
Oh my god! It is just... Okay, so does it play out the same way? No, it does not.
Oh, Partyman, how do I explain you? Oh, yeah, that might do it. This game goes from a sex-crazy lunatic running around a cityscape chasing hallucinations to a fucking D&D game with a fundamental dismantling of RPGs in general. And it's actually, like, kinda decent. This game's only good section was the D&D parody, so about the back 20 minutes of it that I played. But I still found myself laughing at, like, 2 of the punchlines this game presented. This humor just flat out isn't my thing, and it says it on the cover, not to play it if you're easily offended. I picked the game because I really just expected it to be a satire piece, something similar to one of the other games from the previous part. And in a way I got what I was looking for, just wasn't expecting it to be a satire piece on RPGs through a D&D campaign. All things in consideration, this is a fine game. I won't continue it because it isn't a game that I would play personally, but if it is something that you're interested in with, like, crude humor sort of things, then this might be a game that you might find enjoyable. Now, I was going to dedicate this section to CINE in Another World, but I saw in the description that this one comes before that, so I figured why not, let's give this one a play first. And this is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a rush of boss fights, one after another, an hour in and I was level 75. This game's balance feels a little out of whack, like some bosses soak up huge amounts of hits while others went down way too easy. Although every single boss in this game has a degree of character in it, either in how the cast reacted to them, the little descriptor before the fight, or the bosses themselves in conversations. Hey, I recognize that. Neko, buddy, you just pop up everywhere, don't you? Honestly, this game seems to be a bit of a turn off your brain and fight bosses, and there's nothing wrong with that. This game is perfectly fine. Hell, I'd even say it's good. It's got a real good degree of, similar to Demon King Defiance, where you kind of feel like you're going on a power trip as you steamroll through these fights. This just really isn't my thing when it comes to RPGs. I'm, like, really sorry. Everyone having both healing and reviving is a genius move. That way you aren't leaving heal control in the hands of luck, and everyone can be a healer at any time. Also, the vampire boss fight spawning 7 minions, that got me a bit, I will admit. Yeah, this game's a solid maybe. If the sequel isn't a boss rush, I might give that a crack instead, but I don't know. A game that's entirely boss fights, it's not really my thing personally. I might continue it. I don't know. We'll wait and see how things unfold. This game is a roguelite, and I've made my opinions clear before. I have nothing against roguelites, I just don't like them. And this game has nothing outwardly wrong with it. I think other people might enjoy this, I just don't like it. And sometimes that happens. There will always be games that are good, I just don't like them. So I'm not really going to hold this against the developer. Really, I don't have anything else to comment on with this one. It's a passable game. I won't be continuing with it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't know what else exactly you want me to say here. The game's balance is alright. I didn't really feel like I was ever in mortal danger, so it might be a little easy. I like the characters. Like, the characters are fine. Like, there's really not much else I can say about this game. It's a roguelite. I played it for an hour. It was an hour of me fighting things over and over again. And there wasn't even charming character like there was with the boss rush cave. So there's not much I can really say here that doesn't just sound like me repeating myself over and over again. That's really all I can say on this game. There's not much else to say, really. Hey, this game's got some really nice area design. I wonder who made this.
You again!
Radley, honestly, mate, how do you do it? I swear, every game of yours I play blows me away in one way or another. And how did you make dynamic class switching even better? Okay, I don't normally go on tangents like this, but dude, you literally make some of the best work on this platform. How many hours have you sunk into this? I thought my 600 hours in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 was bad. How many hours do you have in this engine? This game is the protagonist able to swap between several elemental forms, with both having in and out of combat use, enabling you to traverse through areas in the overworld and strike elemental weaknesses in battle. Do you even have to ask? I'm going to continue this game. You've done it again, you magnificent bastard. You've made a game I want to continue playing, but time limited me. How do you do it? This game has a really nice opening introduction thing. Like, look at all this. This is a really, really solidly created thing, and it goes into its own title screen into... Wait a second.
This is just SimCity!
It even has DLC! Somehow? How do you make DLC for an RPG Maker game? I'm blown away by everything about this game, because somehow you made SimCity an RPG Maker! I'm not even mad, I'm impressed! You've bent the engine in so many different directions to make this work, and yet somehow here I am making cemeteries to allow my virtual people to dispose of their corpses after a tornado! Yay? I'm not really going to look at this game again unless there's someone out there who really wants me to look into the City Skylines RPG Maker clone. I don't know, I'm not the professional here. You tell me what you want. Well, ain't this peachy? This game has D&D inspirations and allows you to choose your character. And don't you judge me for picking the female option, I always pick the female option when I can. Anyway, this game is inspired by D&D, obviously, and allows you to assemble a party of... Now hang on a fucking minute here, Buster! How the fuck have I found a second game that carries a character in Creature Hunter G+? And you mean to tell me Tuna's here too? And you again! Radley, you're everywhere! So, obviously, I bought my healing girl back. Even across games, she's still the best asset a team could have, and soon enough, these femme fatales are out hunting a minotaur. I mean, obviously, I'm taking a closer look at this game as well. So you better bet your sweet Bippy I am finishing this game in one way or another. Strap in, folks. This game will be getting more videos of it sooner rather than later.
Oh my god, you are fucking huge! Jesus Christ! Oh I'm not fucking sleeping tonight. That is a fuck off huge spider. Why do I live in the southern hemisphere? Fuck me.
Honestly, this is a really hard one for me to review because I like the game itself. It's got some really cool area design, really nice combat styles. It feels very balanced. The characters are very nice, but it wears its religious overtones on the sleeves a little too much for my liking. Now, I don't dislike religion. Fuck, I'm pagan. But this feels a little too heavy handed on the religion. The party, honestly, is very solid, like I said, and I love their interactions, like I said. The game is really good, and the combat feels incredibly well balanced, if a tiny bit easy in places, as every member of the party fills their own role nicely. This game's a real solid maybe. I might continue it, I might not. If I can kind of just keep going with it, I think I'll have a good time, but I don't know if I can get over some of the like heavy-handed religion stuff here. But again, not a bad thing, just I'm not a person that follows Catholic Christian religions, so it's not really my thing. Existence is hard. It's harder when you're indecisive and can't choose what project you want to work on for game development. So I've decided to take the hard part out of choosing and let more people give my inputs because, I'm indecisive. So I'm going to give you the 4 concepts that I have kind of workshopped over the past few months, years, and I'll let you choose, help me choose which one I play and make and hopefully finish for your amusement. Concept 1 is one I lovingly call class style. The name is a work in progress, but basically, on paper, it's very similar to games such as Intricate Descending or Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where you unlock more classes as you progress through the game, with a lot of ideas and concepts to potentially flesh out. The only real issue I could see with this is the class changing menu itself. I could do it either Intricate Descending style, where you have orbs that can change classes on the fly, or something similar to Quest of Erendia, where you go to a separate screen to choose your class there. Either way, I'd probably have to learn stuff that I'm not entirely confident of learning in RPG Maker, but we learn to get out of our comfort zones. Concept 2 is one I fleshed out a hell of a lot more, as I originally was going to make it on the PC version before university claimed my free time. It essentially plays like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, allowing you to collect a large entourage of heroes to fight enemies, but with a set amount of characters that you get that guarantee you can get through the entire game with them. It uses a gacha system. Naturally, gacha comes with its own strengths and weaknesses. Naturally, luck. If you're incredibly unlucky, you probably won't be getting certain characters, but this could become a mess of variables and common events very fast if I don't take this cautiously. Concept 3 is one vaguely styled off games like Fear and Hunger 2 and Your Turn to Die, involving an entourage of characters and allowing you to recruit or kill whoever you please in your goal to escape Olden Town, where evil forces of darkness wish for these heroic figures to die before they enact their plans. And Concept 4 is a bit of a half and half situation here, with it being a group of broke university students meeting to play D&D once a week, where you'll play as the newest member of the campaign. Half of the gameplay time you'll spend as a character that you can build, multi-class, and design, and hopefully in as many different ways as you would like, and the other half you play as a mostly silent character just going about his day-to-day life. Honestly, yeah, that's really all I can say about these concepts at the moment. No clue which one I want to make the most, so I thought, fuck it, let's see the court of public opinion and see who would like what the most. Next video will be the premiere of Season 2. And what game will that be? Well, it's a secret. I will see you then in that video.